Hello, going to do a quick tutorial. This is a PSA Dagger. It is a Gen 3 Glock clone. This particular configuration would be a Gen 3 version of the Glock 47. It's got the long grip, long slide with the short recoil system of a Glock 19. One of the things I do with all these new guns, and this is fairly new, this may only have 2 or 3 magazines through it, is I think it's critical to do a break-in on these guns. It's very simple to do, and it'll eliminate most of the functioning issues that I read about online. So what you want to do first, make sure you're unloaded, no bullets. We can look down the chamber, no magazine. We want to take the slide off. I'm going to depress the trigger. Just going to take the pressure off the slide. I'm going to pull down on the locking lugs. There's one on each side. Just taking the pressure off, pulling down, slide comes right off. This is very simple to do. Take your, whatever your selected gun oil is, and you have rails in the lower. There's 4 of them. You need to put 1 drop of oil on each one of those rails. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 single drop of oil at the back of the cruciform right there. You don't want a bunch of oil in there, just 1 single drop. Inside your slide at the base, this is where the top of the barrel rubs to the slide when it locks up. Just put a single drop right there. Then we're going to reassemble our slide. We're going to drop our barrel in. We're going to put our recoil spring back in. Lock that in place. We're going to line up our slide with our lower. Slide it all the way to the rear. We're watching the lineup on the rear rails there. Fully assembled now. Now, if this was a brand new gun, I've already done it to this gun. I put those drops of oil where I told you. And then all I do is sit down and work this slide about 100 times. I rack it, dry fire it, rack it, dry fire it. And I'll do that 100 times. And what you're doing is you're breaking in those slides on the rail, especially on a Cerakoted slide. The Cerakote may make it a little bit over tolerance, which would be too tight. And by just working this gun, you're sanding off just a slight bit of that Cerakote and making it back into spec. So just rack the slide, pull the trigger. Rack the slide, pull the trigger. And also gives you a chance to learn your trigger. There's a lot of online complaints about these triggers. Well, they're not the greatest trigger in the world, but it is an adequate trigger. You have to understand it's a 2-stage trigger. It's not meant to be pulled in a single stage. These are a 2-stage trigger. Stage 1, stage 2. So when you operate these triggers, when you're coming up for your sight, take up the first stage. You'll feel the wall. There's a pressure wall there, so it's real loose. Pressure wall. Align your sights, break your shot. After you fire, you come back out. Oh, I'm right there at that stage. Align my sights, break the shot. Sounds slow, but once you get accustomed to doing it, it is not. But the biggest thing is run that slide about 100 times and break that trigger about 100 times, and you're breaking everything and working it in. A real good thing to do is go to a safe place, verify there's no ammunition there, get all the ammunition out of the room, rack the slide, make a sight picture, pick up your sights, align your sights on whatever target you have in the room that's safe, no bullets, break the shot, work the slide, and do that about 100 times, and you will break your gun in. It will save you a lot of headaches, and they'll function much better. Just my 2 cents.